Hi again, fourth grade. I just wanted to say, first of all, I really miss you guys. I wish so bad we can be in our classroom, but I hope that you are viewing this video so you get to see me and just know I'm thinking about you. So this week, we're going to continue learning about plant and animal adaptations and what structures they have that allow them to survive. I wanted to focus just for a few minutes before I show you this week's assignment on what those structures are. When we're talking about structures, we're talking about internal structures, which mean what do they have on the inside, as well as external structures. Those are the things on the outside. And these are things that help them find food, help them maintain their home. And it might be a burrow, it might be a nest, depending on what habitat they live in. So let's talk for a second about plants. This week you're going to be learning about plants and animals that live in a very hot, dry climate, the desert. If we focus on a plant's external structures, we know that they have roots, stems, and leaves. This week you're going to be reading about a cactus and what are those parts of a cactus that allow it to live in such a hot, dry climate. We've learned that plants need water and sunshine to survive and thrive, but how is it that a cactus can survive in such a dry climate? So cactus have roots that live very shallow below the surface of the earth. They don't go deep down into the ground, and that is, so if it does rain, they happen to have a rain, then those roots can soak up that moisture and it is then stored within the thick stems of that cactus. What I thought was interesting is we know that cactus have those sharp, pointy spikes, and those pokey spines allow it to protect itself from other animals trying to bite into the cactus so it can hold on to that moisture. So let's talk about internal structures, just like people. We're talking with animals, brain, heart, lungs, those things that we need to live. But we're gonna look at some different animals that live in the desert and what external, outside structures they have. You're gonna read about a fennec fox. The fox have very, very large ears, much bigger than what you think they would have on their small body. So I want you to focus on why do those fox have such big ears and why are they necessary for living in a hot desert? And I wanted to point out we have done an activity on bird beaks and why birds have different beaks. Here's just one example, a comparison. Look at a hummingbird's beak, very long, narrow beak that allows it to get deep down inside of a flower and suck out the nectar with its straw-like tongue. And then birds of prey, like a bald eagle, their beak has a very curved, sharp, pointy top beak, which allows it to tear meat of its prey. Same with claws and talons. These claws and talons allow animals to, and you learned about claws this last week, not only hang on to prey, but allows them to dig if they are a burrowing animal. It allows them to climb. We learned about a sloth, one of my favorite animals, as well as koala that live a lot of their life up in the trees. And so their claws would allow them to climb up into the branches where they find the majority of their food. Think about a giraffe. Why does a giraffe have such a long neck? Probably because it eats those leaves so high up into the trees, it allows them to reach those leaves that are their food. Also, think about animals like a camel that live in a desert, hot climate, very sandy. They have very wide, flat hooves, which allow them to walk on top of that sand without it being super slippery, like us walking on ice. So this week, you're going to be focusing again on plant and animal adaptations, those structures that they have that allow them to live in their habitat. So we're focusing on the desert and what helps these animals survive in the desert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now where you're going to be finding, again, what you're going to see when you go to Teams. Again, you will have a slideshow. And on that slideshow, you're going to work through what structures help desert animals and plants. I did put a text in there on cactus. What help them survive? You're going to work through, just like this last assignment, work through each slide, do a couple each day. You'll be collecting evidence to answer the question from the beginning, what structures help these animals and plants survive the desert? And just like last week, you're going to be collecting that evidence on the collecting information page, answering the questions, and then on the last day, integrating all of the information and evidence you collected from these different resources to write a really good paragraph and science conclusion, being able to answer that question. So I hope that this finds you guys well. I hope you're getting out and enjoying the nice weather. And if you need any help, it's important that you get with me. You can Class Dojo a message to me. You can call me on Teams. You can chat with me on Teams. And don't forget to turn in some of your completed work on Tuesdays to the blue bin out front of the school, or many of you have figured out, and it works just fine, if you wanted to take a picture of your completed work and upload that into Class Dojo. You can even send it to me through email. So I hope that you're doing well. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will get with you as soon as I can. We'll talk to you guys soon. Hang in there.